and welcome to the replay. I'm saying welcome to the replay because I do not go live on this channel. I have not gone live on this channel in over a year, I believe. So welcome to the replay. My name is Carmen Andrea Harris. I am the creator and founder of bohemianacademics.com. Right now, with bohemianacademics.com, I offer homeschool consulting, I offer digital learning guides, and I also offer counseling and emotional wellness services for kids. So, a little bit about me. I am a retired educator with a Master of Arts in Teaching. I taught for 6 or 7 years. It's been so long. It's been over a decade since I've been in the actual classroom, but I taught for 6 or 7 years. I taught elementary school. And after I left the classroom with my first daughter, she was around 2.5, and I had a toddler at the time. I taught my 2.5-year-old how to read at 2.5, and I started sharing the videos on Facebook. And one of my Facebook friends at the time, she said, you need to turn this into a business. So I created a digital course. It was initially called Firstborn Reading Strategies. And then I changed the name. I rebranded it to Teach Your Baby How to Read, where I was teaching parents how to teach their children, their babies, their toddlers, how to read. And that was the very first digital product that Bohemian Academics started off with. And this was about a decade ago. This was like in 2015. And then fast forward to just life happening, things changing, all of that. Ended up becoming widowed. Life got turned upside down, and I decided to homeschool my daughters in 2020 at the end of the panoramic, everything that was going on with that. They ended the school year in online public school, like most children in America. And I just decided it was time for me to homeschool them. I always knew that it was something that I was going to do, but I just didn't know when it was going to happen. But it felt like the right time. So I started homeschooling my daughters traditionally at the end of the 2020 school year. So 2020 through 2021. That was the first official year that I homeschooled both of my daughters. Prior to that, like the year that my husband and their father died, my oldest was in online public school before it was even a thing in 2018. And my baby girl, I was traditionally homeschooling her in pre-K, which is not required in the state of Georgia. So I started homeschooling my children, and through that, I decided to relaunch Bohemian Academics. And in relaunching Bohemian Academics, I still had the early literacy piece with the Teach Your Baby to Read digital course. But then I also added on the homeschool component, offering homeschool consulting services. Once I began to homeschool and I saw how, I'm not going to say easy it was, but how doable it was. Because even though I have education background, even though I taught for many years, I was in elementary education, have a Master of Arts in Teaching, I still initially had reservations about teaching my own children. So much so that I invested in a homeschool consultation with one of my former teacher friends who had started homeschooling way before it was even a thing, because her children are in the entertainment industry. So I invested in a consulting session with her, and she just assured me that, you can do this. You can homeschool your children. Like, you're overthinking it. You don't have to make it like school, school at home, even though that is one of the homeschool models that I went with initially. I set it up like a classroom. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I set our living room up like a classroom. So it was a combination of school at home and eclectic, because there's different types of homeschool models that you can follow, or you can completely unschool and do your own thing. But when we first started off, thank you so much. I received that. Thank you, Noodle Team. Same to you. So we started off with a hybrid of school at home, where we had like desks, we set it up like a school, but it was also eclectic, because hence the name Bohemian Academics. My daughters and I, we live a bohemian lifestyle. So it was a combination of that. And then along my journey, I mentioned that my husband died, the father of my children. He died in 2018. And along my healing journey and me just learning how to live again, I actually got certified as a grief counselor. So I've added added that component to Bohemian Academics where I offer counseling services, counseling and emotional wellness services for kids. Hi, Chelsea. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Bohemian Academics is it offers three main things. I offer homeschool consulting for parents who want to homeschool. You may be a little bit apprehensive. You want someone who is not just educated, but who also has the experience as well. Because what I've learned is that a lot of people, like, you'll try to piece together information on Google from this place, that place. If you go on one of the groups inside of Facebook and you're like, I want to homeschool, what do I do? You're going to get 50 different answers. But the very first thing that you need to know with homeschooling is your homeschool law. Whatever state you live in, you need to research the homeschool laws. That's the very first thing you need to do, because you want to be compliant with the law. You don't want any problems with them, and you want to make sure that you're doing what is required by your state. Once you know that, you can kind of create your own thing, but it can still be overwhelming to try to figure out, well, how do I set the schedule? What do they need to know? Should I go with a digital curriculum, a book curriculum? Should I go with a secular curriculum or a biblical Christian curriculum? So that's where I come in, offering homeschool consulting and strategy sessions to take you from A to Z, from being overwhelmed and unsure to being clear, being confident, and being fully equipped to homeschool your children. Because I've always believed that we are our children's first teacher. That's how I started teaching my child to read at 2.5, because I came from the classroom and I saw so many children come to me in the first grade not knowing a lot of things that they should have known just because. So I've been an advocate for parents being their children's first teacher. So with Bohemian Academics, I offer homeschool consulting and strategy sessions. I also offer digital learning guides, which are like digital courses, digital products that teach you different things. I have a homeschool digital course. I have a homeschool Bible study course, and I have an early literacy course right now. So that's the digital component where you can download those and you can learn at your own pace. And then I also offer the counseling and emotional wellness services for kids. So I just wanted to come on here and connect, because I haven't been on here in a while, and I want to get into relaunch mode to let people know what it is that I have, because I know that, hi, Jose, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know that there has been an uptick in homeschooling. There already was an uptick in homeschooling in 2020. And a lot of those families who started homeschooling, they have continued to homeschool. And now, just with recent things, different things going on in the world, a lot more people are wanting to homeschool. So I just want to make sure that I am in position and I'm present and available for those who want a reputable resource and guide, who not only has the personal experience, but also has the education and the knowledge to truly guide you along. So I just wanted to pop on here and say that. Thank you for those of you who have hung out with me live. I truly appreciate it. For those of you who catch this on the replay and you are interested in homeschooling, I want you to hashtag replay. And then I also want you to go to my website. I'm going to link it in the description. It's bohemianacademics.com. Once you get on my website, you can get a free starter guide for homeschool counseling and emotional wellness for kids. And then you can also learn more about the products and the services that I offer. So thanks y'all so much for hanging out, and thank you for catching it on the replay. This is Carmen Andrea Harris of bohemianacademics.com. Peace.